Tadi. Okay.
Hello. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Hi guys, welcome back to our startup review for the finale, which was shown yesterday night, and we are now going live. So, if anyone want to say anything, you can also send us a message, and we can see it here right now. So, Miss Isaac, apa yang nak cakap?
Apa nak cakap? Apa nak cakap?
Cakap lah.
So we finally finished. It's a wrap for Startup 2020 Korean drama, and well, how do we start? There's a lot of opinions on whether it was good or whether it was bad. Everybody has their own opinions. We would like to hear. Do they get to comment while we talk?
Yeah.
This live, yeah.
Well,
We would like to hear comments from
I'm trying
you
to see
guys.
if I can put this in the group, but I'm not sure.
I'm trying to see if I can. How do I promote that on Facebook?
It's not even appearing here yet.
Oh, really? It's not appearing that it's live. How do I link that to my YouTube? Boleh tak?
I'm not sure. This is the first time I'm on
Yeah,
live.
this is the first time we're doing live on YouTube. Never done this before, so we're not that sure how it goes. I think I'm gonna off this. I'm gonna go live on Facebook at the same time.
Yeah.
Kan?
Yep.
That's a good idea.
Let's see if it shows here anywhere.
I'll go live on Facebook.
It doesn't show anywhere. I think when the live finish, then only it will go into YouTube.
Oh, really?
Because remember that shooting incident and all that, so everything has to be viewed first before they approve.
Shooting incident?
Yeah, the New Zealand one. Remember, you went live, and
Oh, okay.
so now anything that's live, there's always a delay.
Start up.
Oh, there, it's here.
Is it? You found it?
Yep.
Live. Cool.
Share,
Finale.
Facebook.
Startup finale review.
Let me see. Group. Startup Korean drama. Okay, so I can do it. Join us. Live session. Startup. Finale, ya. Okay.
You cakap dulu sebab I tengah buat ni sekejap. Dah dengar dia cakap.
So we are now live on Startup group page. So you can view us there.
You shared it in the
Yep.
live?
Yep.
Which group?
There.
Ah, cool.
Okay.
I should post that too.
So no need. You're already in here already. So
Did you tag me?
Yeah. They can see you here. What?
Only see, but they don't know.
Later we can tag lah.
No, might as well I post it also. I cannot because it's not my account, right?
Then wait, let me tag.
Tag me. Baru dah.
Cannot tag.
Cannot tag people.
It's live. It's under my YouTube. So, but I can put you under the comments lah.
Yeah, put it in the comment. Come and watch what I says to say. All haters, call out all my haters. All the DDS people, call them.
Okay, done. Okay, so first thing I want to say is the finale was okay, but until towards the middle part lah. After that, it really went not to my expectation. It's like they just wanted to wrap things up and wanted to play safe and just end it there and then. It should have at least made it more interesting and gone to season 2. Okay, there is one fan that commented here that said gave a really good comment. It's a Grace Omo. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Grace Omo
Let me see.
Lawyer. Okay
Homo
lah.
lao ye.
Homo lawe, not. Anyway, I'm just calling her Grace, okay? And she gave a really good comment. Okay, she said, and she's very pissed and feel that the fan wall was purposely created. I actually went through, what is this?
I had she went in for Nam Jung Hyuk since she doesn't know the actor very
That
well.
much.
I don't really get what she was saying, whether she came to watch because of him or what. That one I don't know.
So she says that the chemistry between Dosan and Dami was like forced. Don't you think so?
I will say a lot more about that later. This is her opinion.
Yeah, which I agree lah. Because there's no chemistry at all. There's nothing at all compared to chemistry of Dami and Pyong. So cepat lah.
What? Cakap lah what you want to cakap. You want to
Cakap
talk about her, you
Bukan
talk
nak
lah.
cakap. I tak ada banyak nak cakap. Bila cakap baru
That's
dia
all?
nak. That's all lah. I just want to mention
That's all
about
that she
this
says?
one.
Itu je.
Itu je. And then a lot of people also said that it was a rush.
Okay, what else did they say? Because I haven't read anything that people commented, so I can't.
I think
say
the best
anything.
part for the finale was this part, Ji Pyong and the grandmother. I think this was the best part.
What? Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Ji Pyong and the grandmother.
Definitely.
Right. So, cepatlah.
Wah. Cepatlah.
Talk lah.
Apa you tak boleh talk?
Tu je I can remember
Itu
now.
je you boleh cakap?
Ha.
Kesiannya. Aku kan tengah set up ni. Kau faham ke tak faham?
Ayo, kita live sekarang.
I know, I told you not to start. Begin. What do you want me to say?
Say lah, what do you want to say to your...
Okay, open your yang
Go to-
senarai semua watak. Hi guys. Alright, we're doing a review on Startup. So, okay, it's like this. We've been through 16 episodes, right from the first episode to the last episode that we just watched a few hours ago. And it seems there are all different opinions from all over the world of what they felt, good or bad. I would suppose, I don't know, I haven't read hundreds of notifications in my Facebook. I would presume that the Dosan fans are probably celebrating. I did think that they would celebrate because their goal from the very beginning was to get the girl. Their goal was to get Dalmi, and I told them if that is your goal, then that's it. That's all, you know. As for us, we had a lot more things that we were looking forward to in Startup. Now, I would like to talk about, if I may, about the characters. Right? I'd like to talk about the characters in Startup, about the character development of each character. Let's start with the leading man, Dosan. Okay, we start with Nam Dosan, who was played by, what's his name? Nam Joo Hyuk. Sorry, I can't pronounce his name. I only call him NJH.
Same beginning name, huh?
Same beginning. Yeah. He's from the same family, from the Nam family. What can I say? Okay, Nam Joo Hyuk. Sorry. Nam Dosan character-wise, I don't know whether the writers did it on purpose, but if they did it on purpose, then it's kind of silly. They kind of ruined his reputation. They made him look very weak, very
geeky.
Okay, geeky is not a problem, but very.
Ladylike?
No, I can't figure out the word in Malay. In bahasa Melayu kita panggil lebih, nak mampu lembik tau, lembik. Lembik dude. Karakter dia aku tak tahu nak cakap macam mana, but very the.
What are you doing? Macrame or something.
Oh yeah, they showed that his hobby is knitting.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a man knitting? Seriously, dude? Well, that's what the writers made up. So the writers were the one that made him that way. I don't know whether it's on purpose or whether they're trying to get the metrosexual kind of guy. I don't know, you know. But his character was, from the beginning to the end, he didn't change much. He was one of the most underdeveloped character. Right from episode 1 until episode 16, he didn't grow much. Still the same guy. No matter how much he was more successful in business or in life, he was still the same whiny, boring, I don't know. Would any woman want this kind of guy? I'm sorry, but I don't know about you guys, but maybe the DDS, the Dosan Delirious fans, they definitely love him. They keep telling me, but isn't he great? Isn't he? Okay, I guess to you, to young people, it might appeal to you, but nah, it wouldn't appeal to us because he has no substance, nothing in him. He's just a normal, mediocre, plain guy. I think you can find him tepi jalan banyak. You can find that kind of character anywhere. There's nothing interesting about him, right? That he's just, how do I say? Just a normal guy. His only credibility or kelebihan dia is he's very good looking.
A good programmer.
Well, he's good looking. Now, I mean, I'm talking about the character. For a girl who looks at him, you know, he's got the height, he's got the looks, he's pretty handsome, so he's dreamy, I guess, to a lot of girls, right? Yeah, he's very dreamy. So, yeah, that's about it. I'm sorry, but personality-wise, there's nothing that interesting about him. You know, the DDS keep telling me that he's loving what he does, he cares about her and all that. I think almost all men are like that.
Yeah.
It's just mediocre. It's not enough. So I'm sorry. Right from the beginning until the end, I don't see much growth in character development in Dosan. So I'm very sorry on the behalf of every Dosan fan, but I didn't see much in him. While we speak of Dosan, we will speak a little bit about the actor. I've stated this many times that I actually began watching Startup because I wanted to see this actor, because I've seen him before in Scarlet Heart Rio. I thought he was really good looking in that one, and I wanted to see, and Scarlet Heart Rio was 2016, so I wanted to see after 4 years how much has he developed as an actor.
Who was it?
Nam Joo-hyuk.
Oh,
I wanted to see if he had improved, because I figured in Scarlet Heart he didn't quite touch our hearts. But he was really good looking. In Scarlet Heart, he was gorgeous. He looks nice with long hair, actually. You know, olden day movies. He looked really good.
It's my first time seeing him acting.
Okay. I thought in Scarlet Heart, I was telling my daughter that I thought he was one of the most good looking ones. But he didn't really bring his character. So I decided to watch Startup because I wanted to see, after 4 years, how much he has developed as an actor. And then my son said, hey, I told my son I'm watching Startup, and he says, hey, there's Susie Bay in there. And I said, I don't know who Susie Bay is, because I generally watch more Sagu, historical period dramas. I don't watch modern dramas that much. So if you haven't acted in historical dramas, I might not know you. But if you're an actor that has done historical dramas, then I definitely would know you. So I've never seen Susie Bay, but my son said that Susie Bay was considered the queen of dramas. Yeah, he said, hey, everybody loves her, she's the queen of drama. So I'm like, cool, definitely watching Startup. And then I didn't know there was Kim Seung-ho in it, because I have actually seen Kim Seung-ho before in the Sagyuk 100 Days My Prince, and he's cute. You should watch that, 100 Days My Prince. He was really cute. He was once again the second lead, where he wanted the main girl, but because the main girl and the main guy had great chemistry, we didn't mind the second lead not get him, you know. We didn't have the second lead syndrome, but he was very sweet and very cute. And at that time I thought, maybe this guy's not that handsome, but he does have his charms. So when I looked at the list of cast of Startup and I saw his name, I was like, cool, he's in this. I'd love to watch this, you know. So originally I came to watch Nam Joo-hyuk, and then when my son said Susie Bay is the queen of drama, I was like, cool. And then I figured out Kim Seung-ho was in it. I was even more, yay, I get to watch this guy again. Hopefully better this time.
And this series made him even more.
Yeah, something
famous.
happened. Yeah, let's talk about the second lead now. Something hit the world, okay, not Korea, not Malaysia, not South Africa, not America, but the entire world, when crazy second lead syndrome was terrible. It's like nobody has ever seen a second lead syndrome as bad as this time. You know, it's happened before, but this time everybody was like, wow. Because I don't know why, I don't know whether it was intentional or not intentional, but the writers, you know, I said the writers kind of like gave good, bad vibe, aura to the leading man, but they gave such a beautiful vibe to the second lead.
It was intentional because they started with him first.
Yeah, the first scene was him. So they actually made, yeah, they made us fall in love with him. Everybody fell in love with him because he was so pure and so clean-hearted, very ethereal, like regal kind, sophisticated guy. He was fantastic right from the very beginning. So at the beginning you would see him, it starts with him, but then after about half an hour it goes flashback to 15 years ago. So you would see all of these characters when they were younger, 15 years ago, when they were younger, when they were just teenagers. And it was, I think it was 2 episodes, right? Episode 1 and 2.
But now we're talking about the last episode.
No. We were doing, they went back to that. And we actually fell in love with the teenagers. The teenagers were great. So the starting of the story where the teenagers started telling us the background of each of them, we fell in love with each character right from the beginning. But the most character that we fell in love in was Ji Pyong.
Yep.
Was the second lead. He really touched our hearts right from episode 1.
Ji Pyong and Bae Suzy.
Yeah, and the character of Dalmi. So now let's go to the character development of Dalmi. Okay, Dalmi, still Dalmi, played by Suzy Bae. How do I put it? She's quite an interesting character where her parents got divorced when she was a teenager, and she struggled between following the mom or following the dad. She decided to follow her dad, where her sister decided to follow her mom. So they split up. She lost a mother, and she also lost a sister at the same time, you know, because they had to split up. And the mother and the sister moved to the United States, so they were no longer in Korea. So totally lost 2 people in her life. That was so meaningful. So it just ended up her living with her father and living with her grandma, right, Harmony. So when they show her back 15 years ago, they show a very vulnerable side of her, and that is also when she met Ji Pyong 15 years ago. Right? That's when they first met. He used to follow her back from school. He used to look at her from far, but nobody really noticed that, strangely, you know. So they had this very special connection from the beginning. So the foundation of the story, what people say is the letters, the love letters. They end up becoming pen pals. They used to write to each other by putting the letter in a bird box. That's why I named them the lovebirds, because they were the lovebirds. They were the 2 doves that put their letters. But the best thing is, they never knew each other.
Yep.
She had no idea it was him that was writing, but she knew. He knew, of course. He knew it was her because he started it. He started it with the orang kata digalakkan oleh grandmother. He started it by that. The grandmother thought that the grandchild was lonely, so she asked Ji Pyong to begin writing letters to the cucu lah. So that's where it all started. And then when after 2 episodes of 15 years ago, now it comes back to 2017, I presume. Yeah, that was when it was. No, even before that. Now I realized only yesterday that it is not 2020, because yesterday suddenly they're like currently 2020, so which means that this story was supposed to happen probably 2016.
17.
Yeah, 2016. Right, so in 2016 they show back where Mr. Han Ji Pyong, the second lead, is, where Dalmi is, and where Do-san is, right? So Do-san unfortunately didn't end up being very successful when he got older. He was smart as a child. They showed that he'd won competitions, gold medals and all that. on programming. He's a fantastic programmer. He's got lots of ideas, but he didn't quite make it in the business world, maybe because he's just not fit to be a CEO. And that is proven up right until the end, right?
No, it's because they're not well known yet.
No, it's not that.
Plus, it's a
He's
small
just not,
company.
It's not that. He's just not fit to be a boss. He isn't. It wasn't until he cooked up with Dalmi did they do well. And he's not fit. That's why when they met up with Mr. Han Ji Pyong and they asked him to invest, he said, I'm sorry, but I will definitely not invest with you guys because you might be good at programming and all that, but you're just not suitable to be CEO of a company, right? Because this story, startup, is all about building your business, you know, the big million bucks business, not the small, you know, small business there. So anyway, oh yeah, let's talk a little bit about Dalmi's sister, and that would be Won In Jae. She was a very interesting character. I must admit, I didn't like her at the beginning. She annoyed me. She was like very snobbish and arrogant, and I found nothing in her. I was like, I don't even mind if she never entered the screen. She was really boring at the beginning. But the beauty of her character is, I think, among all the characters in the story, she's the one that developed the most. Her growth was fantastic. How she learned about life, about being that way is wrong. She learned that if you mix with the rich people, maybe they're not very sincere and they're using you. She learned that sometimes you need to tone down, you don't need to be so stuck up. She learned a lot of things. She learned a lot throughout startup. From the beginning to the end, she became into a character that I really fell in love with. Seriously, dude. All this while, when people in the Facebook groups talk about In Jae, I'm like, boring. You know, I don't join in because I don't find her very interesting. But towards the end, towards the finishing line, I really fell in love with In Jae. Yeah. And
much better than Don.
Finally, there's a purpose of Kang Hana playing that role, because a lot of people were complaining, come on, Kang Hana is not somebody new. She's a fantastic actor. I have seen her in many stuff, especially in the Empire of Lust, the movie. She was phenomenal. But suddenly she's given this role of In Jae and like, boring character. We were like, isn't that a waste of her talent? But towards the end of Startup, she was brilliant. I loved her character, really loved her character. And what you were saying is, I have to agree, she was the better sister at the end of the story. She was the one that actually gave delight to us audience, a lot of delight. Okay, what should we talk about now? Okay, let's speak about a few more characters that I really loved in Startup. One of the strongest characters is what we call Harmony, the grandmother, which is Dalmi's grandmother. Dalmi and
which I was confused yesterday when you went Harmony, I was thinking it was
Harmony. Okay, so Harmony, the grandmother, is a very strong character in this story, and it was played by, who is it played by? What's her name? There, that's Harmony, right?
Yep, Kim Hae.
No, that's the name of the character actually, is Kim Hae. Oh, the character is Choi Won Do.
Yeah, that's
okay, I don't really know the name because everybody calls her Harmony. So whenever they call her real name, it doesn't click to my brain. They call her Miss Choi, right?
She acts in a lot of dramas.
A lot of dramas, yeah. She's not a new actor, of course. She's about, how old is she? 70s, 60s, 50s? She's quite old, right? She's 64. Okay, she's 64. So we have, I'm sure all of you guys, if you're used to watching Korean dramas, you have seen her before, right? And she played Harmony in Startup really well, right? She did justice to this role.
She and
very proud of what she did.
She and Ji Pyong had a really good chemistry.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. Before that, remind me of that. Before that, I just want to speak about her herself. Her character came from somebody that was, you can say, not so well off. You know, she had her own corn dog shop. You know, like just a small business selling corn dogs and all that. But she stayed true to herself. Sometimes you will see her really savage. She was just like toing, toing, toing. She would just like scream at people, but she was kind of cute. And somehow God made her meet. She was destined to meet this boy, Han Ji Pyong, and she fell in love with this boy. That she gave him a name. She named him the Good Boy. So that's where it all started from. She named him the Good Boy because she felt that I think she could read him very well. She's one person that understood Ji Pyong the best.
Yep.
The best. She understood. He didn't have to say anything, but she could read him inside out. She could tell when he was happy, she could tell when he was upset, when he was angry, and when he was sad. She definitely knew it without even having to ask.
Even the last episode, huh?
Yeah,
When all of them were
right
happy,
from
she
the
knew.
beginning to the end, she was the one that understood him the most. He might not have been her real relative, no, not at all, but he ended up being her grandson that she never had. She never had a grandson, only had 2 granddaughters, right? So, and Ji Pyong's character, I did tell you guys this, that he was an orphan. He didn't have any parents, he didn't have any family. He was all alone. In Malay, we call it Sebatang Kara. Ji Pyong didn't have anyone, no friends, no family, no one. So when Harmony discovered him and took him to live with her, at first he was very wary because he is afraid of abandonment. He felt that he was abandoned by his parents somehow. He felt so alone. So when Harmony said to him, if you've got nowhere to stay, you can stay at my shop, at my contact shop. So he slept there for a while, he stayed there, and they became friends, they became close. And until a certain extent where she used to keep money in a jar, sort of like, all her money. And it was a cute test to see if he would steal that money. He could have easily stolen that money when she was at work. But when she came back, the money was still there. And he said to her, why do you keep your money like this? Why don't you keep it in a bank? And she's like, she's an old lady. I don't know how to go to the bank. I don't know what to do. So he, at a young age of, I believe they were 16, right? He took her to the bank and they opened an account, a bank account under, I don't know, it must be under her name because he's underage, right? They opened an account, but she gave the bank book and the ATM card to Ji Pyong to look after. So basically, it's her account, her money, but he was the sole, he was the management. He looked after the account. And behind her back, what he did was, he took that money and he invested in it. At a very young age of 16, we would see how smart this character Ji Pyong is. He went and invested this money, this small amount of money that she had, from 5,000 won to
40,000.
50,000 won, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
50 or 40?
50. Yeah. Oh, you can check that back in the earlier episodes. It's not that important, but the only importance is they're trying to show that Han Ji Pyong is a very, very, very smart character, very smart boy from a very young age, and suddenly they part. Okay, the reason they part is a lot of people misconstrue why they parted. They said he had a fight with Harmony and they parted because of a silly fight because she stole his money. No, that wasn't the reason why they parted. Let me tell you, this is what really happened. They parted because Han Ji Pyong felt guilty staying with her. He felt guilty that she called him the good boy. He never believed he was the good boy. Right from the beginning, he kept on telling her, stop calling me the good boy. I'm not the good boy. And he felt pressured by that name, the good boy, that he had to be a good boy all the time, when it might not have been his intention in life, at the beginning. So he had to leave her because he wanted to do it on his own. He wanted to stand on his own 2 feet, right? At the very young age of 16, he moved and he wanted to just do it on his own. So they separated for many years. It was about 15 years, yeah. They separated for 15 years. They never met each other ever again.
She didn't steal his money. She gave her own money to the son.
She didn't, yeah.
She took out everything, but she didn't know.
The 5,000 won that she kept in the bank, that was the amount that she gave to the son, which is Dalmi's father.
Yeah, and the other balance was actually...
The other balance she actually kept in a bag, and she gave it back to Ji Pyong. So there was no misunderstanding about stealing money. That was just a joke between them because they're always quarreling. But their
He thought she gave his money.
At first, he didn't understand. He didn't know what it was about. He thought that she stole, but that wasn't the reason why he left. That's why when a lot of people said that he left because of their misunderstanding, that is not true. He left because he wanted to stand on his own 2 feet. He felt guilty, and in that entire time, do you realize how long he stayed with her? 1 year, one entire whole year he stayed with her, and that entire year was he writing to Dalmi. When he and Dalmi were pen pals, the lovebirds, it was an entire year, you know, it's not a short time. You might see in the story like this a week or two, but it was an entire year. So he felt really guilty and burdened by it. It was too long living with an old granny for free, you know, and he just had to, as a man, you know, he's got an ego, he wanted to do it on his own, prove it to himself, so he left. So once he left, we see him 15 years later as a really successful guy. You will see he's got more than one sports car, right? Not just a car, but sports car. And you would see his, I don't know what you call it, condo, apartment, penthouse, don't know. But if you see the design inside his house, you definitely know how successful he is. He's probably, I don't know, but really, really rich guy. So they showed that when he was young, he was really smart, he knew how to invest money at the age of 16, and when he grew up into a 30-year-old, 35-year-old, I'm not sure, he was very successful. So we saw that. And Dalmi, on the other hand, we saw that she, as an adult, was so middle class. You know, you would see there's a scene at the beginning where she's wearing high heels, and it's got some tear on the heels. So she takes a pen, a marker pen, and colors it in. So that was the writer and the director showing that she was just middle class, some thought, right? And you would see at the beginning they show Injay when she's grown up to be successful. Injay, who had followed her mother, got married to another man, and he was a very successful businessman. So she ended up opening her own company, but not on her own, but because of the father's connection, right? So she was successful, they were showing.
She got married.
No, not she got married, the mother got married. Duh.
The mother, yeah.
It's like, she got married?
You said Injay is the sister, right?
No, not she got married, the mother got married.
Okay.
Alright, so...
So I was confused.
No, she never got married, no. What, are you kidding me? No. I mean, Koreans don't get married that early in the age. No. Anyway, so where were we now? So the story started building up, and they continued showing the beauty, the pureness heart of Mr. Han Ji-pyong, and they continued showing the silliness, childish like Do-san. So unfortunately for the older generation viewers, we could not relate to Do-san at all, but the younger viewers, the teenagers and the 20s really loved the character of Do-san. I saw that, the difference, I saw that. I saw where the younger generation really could relate to Do-san, I guess because he acts like their age.
Acts like them.
Yeah, he's in his 30s, but he acts like a teenager, so I guess they appreciate it, yeah, they could see it. As for us, the viewers that were married or had their own children, whatever age they were, we couldn't relate to him at all. We couldn't relate to him at all. And then, speaking of that, we talk about, just now I was talking about characters, now we talk about characters together. Okay, characters together. Let's start with the leading man and the leading lady. So that would be Do-san and Dalmi. A lot of Do-san fans think I say this out of hatred, and I say this out of spite and because I'm biased. They say that I don't like them together because I've got something against the actor or the character. No, it's not that. This is what I see. I rooted for them from the very beginning. I wanted to be happy to watch them together. But unfortunately, I just can't feel it.
There's no chemistry.
I couldn't feel it. There wasn't even a slight bit of chemistry. Even when they were kissing, I was like, okay, I didn't feel anything. When they were hugging, I didn't feel anything. Whenever they were dating,
Even the last episode, she has to force him to.
no. Even when they were
Even when they
dating,
forced
even,
him,
no, even when they were dating,
He
when
was
they were,
like blurred.
shut up, don't go to the end yet. Even when they were dating, right, they were sitting together, either at a shop, drinking coffee or whatever, their conversation was very awkward. They were talking like colleagues. I don't get it. I don't know what went wrong. I don't know whether Nam Jung Hyuk and Susie Bae just couldn't work, but they're from the same agency. Or the director purposely wanted to show it that way. That could be possible. I wouldn't know, because I'm not the director, I'm not the writer. So I don't know what their intention was. But the way we saw it as viewers, zero, empty, no substance, nothing to their relationship. But to the Dosan fans, they saw it. That they used to question me, if you think that's not a kiss, what is a kiss? And I'm like, well, that's a bit difficult to answer, because if you've never experienced true love, maybe you might have thought that was romantic. You know, like they were holding hands, or I don't know, they kissed and all that. But when they looked at each other in the eye, there's no love in their eye. It's empty. I don't know whether the director asked them to do that, or they couldn't bring it. I'm sorry, but they couldn't bring it.
There was no jealousy, nothing.
Yeah, there was nothing. There was
At
like,
least the other two had jealousy and all that.
oh yeah, the other couples were even
They
better.
were-
The other couples were all really brilliant in this story. The main couple, boring.
Boring.
A lot of fans inboxed me, contacted me, and told me that they actually fast forwarded every scene of the main lead. They were boring. They got really bored. So sorry, but you did not succeed. I don't know whether it was purposely done or not, but that is the reality. Only a minority young viewers enjoyed watching the two of you. The rest didn't. I did enjoy watching them a few times, but the problem with them is they're not consistent. That scene at the beach, you remember? When he took Dalmi and the grandmother to the beach, and they were hugging at the beach. That one I felt. I love that. In fact, I posted that in a group saying, what a beautiful picture. And the Dosan fans got confused. They said, are you a Jipyeong fan? I said, just because I'm a Jipyeong fan doesn't mean I can't appreciate the other actors or the other characters. I never said I was a Dosan hater. You guys put it into my mouth. That's
They're
not
the one
true.
who created all this.
You created all this war. You keep on saying that I'm toxic, when all I did was state how I feel. That's my opinion. That's my personal opinion. It's got nothing to do with you. But you guys took it so sensitively. You took it so, I don't know. You started crying, you started screaming at me, telling me I'm going to hell. You tell me to go die. You call me an old granny fart. You call me a pig, a dog, whatever shit. For what? And you call me a Dosan hater. I was never a Dosan hater.
Teenager attitude lah.
Sorry to say, that's the Twitter attitude. The budak-budak WeChat. Gitulah.
That
So,
is why.
you know, there was one girl from Indonesia in the group who said to me, I am proud to be 17 years old, but at least I've got a brain. You, old granny, don't have a brain. Really, Chincha? Is your mother so proud of you? I'm sure your mother is proud of you. And she went, well, you know, yes, my mother is very proud of me because I don't entertain old, stupid women like you. Oh, really? And you're telling me you don't entertain when every single article I write, you come in. What does that show? You're the one that looks for me. All my haters are the ones that come to my post. I didn't call you. If you don't like what you read, you don't have to read it. If you don't like what you see, close your eyes. If you don't like what you hear, close your ears. But you chose to come. You started the war. So be it. But the war, actually, the rembulan, was the cool part of the drama. The fighting, the war, the whatever, I find it very enjoyable. Seriously,
Yeah. Thanks to Dosan.
I would like to say thank you to all the Dosan die-hard fans.
Making Jipyeong even more.
You made us totally had a great time. And I have to be honest, I'm going to miss you guys. Now that startup is over.
No. If Dosan's such a great actor, why you didn't win any award? Why
Not
did you go-
Dosan.
Yeah,
You're talking about Nam Jong Hyuk. Don't mistake character and actor.
same lah.
Not the same.
Did he win any award? only modeling awards and all that, right? Instagram stuff.
No, don't claim stuff like that. He has a lot of
from
awards.
Instagram and all that.
He's got a lot of awards. He's got a lot of awards. But
the modeling world.
he's talking about the actor now. Okay, a lot of you guys say, who am I to critique an actor? Who am I to critique a writer or director or whatever? I think as a viewer, right, everybody has that right. Everybody has that right. It doesn't matter who you are. You must remember, a form of art is made for the viewers. So the viewers, all viewers, have the right to say how they feel and how they take it.
That's why they have awards.
The viewers are the ones that are watching. So when you ask me what right do I have, as much right as you have, you know? So I'm telling you how I feel, that's all. You don't like it, you don't have to listen, but you started the war and you started being really, really ugly. Started being really cruel. Cyberbullying came from you guys, not from me.
Okay, we got about 20 more minutes, so shall we concentrate on the finale now?
So, right, jump. We get to the end. So we need to talk about the final episode of what happened, okay? Before we talk about the final episode, we go a little bit to episode 15. In episode 15, what happened in episode 15? Suddenly I've forgotten.
Episode 15 was the lift part and all that, isn't it?
Okay, forget it. My brain just can't remember
Just
what
concentrate
episode
on this
15.
one.
So let's go to episode 16. It started quite well, right? You were saying you loved the first half. I was smiling all through. I was surprised.
I love the first half, how they showed Ji Pyong, how he felt.
I was surprised, yeah.
Right until the grandmother.
We saw Ji Pyong finally going up to Dalmi on the rooftop. They're always meeting at the rooftop. Their only heart-to-heart talk is on the rooftop. So we see Ji Pyong and Dalmi meeting once again on the rooftop, and they had their heart-to-heart talk about where they're going from today. And I have to say that scene broke my heart because Do-san said, I might have been the one who wrote the letters, but for 15 years I never looked for you. When Do-san found that letters, but straight away went to look for you. I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional here. That's what Ji Pyong said to her, and I felt hurt because that's actually not the truth. He only said that because he gave up, basically.
He gave up because of the tree and the letters. He said that's it. Plus, he can stand on his own already. That's why
he gave up on his love because he felt maybe she is better off going her way instead of being with him, and
she doesn't need his help anymore.
She don't need him anymore, so he gave up. You know, I waited for 16 episodes for him to finally tell her how much he loves her, but I never got that. And I'm sorry, I really felt hurt by that scene. And you will see him, and she says, okay, you can go, you know, she just let him go. I was hoping for her to call him back.
Never.
I thought she would call him back once he walked away, but no, she didn't, because she was already in love with Do-san. She had someone else in her heart at that time. So he walked off, and you will see the way he walked, it was like a dead man walking. You know, he was so distraught and whatever. And he just went home all by himself. And Dalmi took Do-san back home to the grandmother's house. And the grandmother, immediately when he saw that Do-san and Dalmi were happy, immediately in her thought was,
she thought of Ji Pyong.
She thought of my good boy.
Then she went see.
I need to go and be there for him, because she knew when Dalmi chose Do-san, that would automatically mean that he has been rejected. So she left the two Do-san and Dalmi at home, and she, I don't know how, but she got on a grab or something. She's blind by now, and went to Ji Pyong's house. And Ji Pyong was like, who the hell is at my house in the middle of the night? Because nobody comes to visit him. Remember I told you he's got no friends? Suddenly somebody's ding ding at the door, so he goes and checks, and he's like, Han, when, how did you get here? You know, he couldn't. He was surprised. She's never been to his house ever again. In fact, she said, Daumi tells me that your house is beautiful. I wish I'd come here sooner when I could see. But she couldn't see anymore, so she could not even see how wonderful his life turned out to be.
So I guess that from then on, after that, it went to show to.
No, wait. I need to say about the two of them. When he was younger, she said to him, "Don't ever come to me if you're successful. Don't come to me if you're happy, because I don't want to know. But only come to me when you're sad." But this time she said to him, "Come to me whenever you want, even when you're happy, even when you're successful, because I would love to see you, and I would love to be with you, and I know I don't want you to be alone anymore." That's what she said to him. I know how lonely you are, and I don't want you to be alone ever again. And you could see, that is when I felt Kim Jong-ho acted the best. The brilliance of Kim Jong-ho is he actually developed in the entire series as an actor. He started good, in the middle he became better, and towards the end he was even better. He was really into the role. He became Ahn Ji-byung. So when she was telling him that, "I don't want you to be ever alone," the way he acted, he was so natural. He was like trying to control his emotions, but he couldn't control it. You know, it was
that's
like
acting. That's real crying.
That's fantastic. That was fantastic. Great job, Mr. Kim Jong-ho.
Did you cry when Dosan cried?
Why would I? Never ever
That's
cried
terrible
when Nam Jong-il cried. I felt
Terrible
disgusted. I'm sorry, but it's terrible acting. You know, you guys are
That's
so
the
proud that he
difference.
won so many awards, but I'm sorry to say, previous to this, he's been acting almost the same roles. That's why it's
That's
easy
right,
for that. Not this role. He didn't bring it.
It's not easy to cry in a movie. You have to really be affectionate, and you have to really be in the character.
Yeah, it's not like you know, that doesn't make anyone sad. Sometimes even Kim Jong-ho, when he's acting, sometimes he's just like this. But we viewers are crying our head off because we understand how sad he is. You know. Okay, where were we? You were saying?
So now, what was I saying now?
What happened towards the end? Okay, so right, Ji-byung has given up. Daumi has chosen Dosan. Cut story short, they got married. They continued successful in their business. The other small characters behind, that's too long for us to tell. I could make a review until tonight, but nah. So we had this cute couple, Stephanie and what's his name? I can never remember his name. Never mind. They were fantastic. I really enjoyed those two from the beginning of him liking her and she being very snobbish. Remember they talk about what did they put on the wall, and she was saying that I wrote, "I'm looking for a man who is better than me," and he was like, I don't know. And she said that I've always I found men who are better lawyers. I found men that were better, but never better than me in personality wise. And actually that was a hint. She didn't have to say it. The fact that she chose him to be her boyfriend, he was better than her. That was beautiful. That was really beautiful.
That's chemistry.
That is chemistry. I really love them. When her sister came over, hi Lala, when her sister came over and she introduced him as her boyfriend, that was cool, man. I was smiling my head off. I was like watching it and love that couple.
So to final things up, what do you think of the whole episode, the
16.
whole season 1? Do you think that they could have at least made it better to go to season 2? What do you think?
Well, as far as my observation, Koreans are not really into many seasons, have you noticed?
But there are a few.
There are a few, that's it, a few only. It's a minority. They don't often go into season 2 and season 3 compared to American or British dramas. Only a few of them do, not many.
No, there's a lot also.
Not that many. No.
Later you go Netflix.
Look at Good Doctor. They only stopped at season 2, if I'm not mistaken. Good Doctor American went up to season 4, 5, I don't know, I can't remember. Yeah, well, sorry to say they fucked it up. If there is a season 2, It's not possible because they
ended everything up.
they ended everything. They wrapped everything
It's
up.
like the director just wanted to quickly wrap everything up and okay, let's
They're like, we don't want to do this story anymore. We want to go on to our next project.
which is a waste.
Which is a waste.
Yeah.
Because you've got to remember, every drama that you do, it's a business. It's a business about making money. And you could have made money if you had changed.
If they had
the
not
ending.
shown that last part of photo
No, everything. The whole season 16, episode 16
from the middle part, they
was
changed.
just a wrap up. And when you wrapped everything up, there is no more space for you to do season 2. So goodbye, no money. You could have made more money. You could have made havoc and, well, fine, they don't want it. What can we say? But like Thomas was saying that they played safe. That was the word he used. They played safe and they just wanted, it was as if they were just rushing it and they just wanted to end it. So let's make everybody happy. But ended up, I think I watched a Disney movie. It was a fairy tale. It was a Cinderella movie. They actually ended the story. They could have wrote that happily ever after. You know what I mean? It was a happily ever after story. Well, happily ever after for the lead and the girl, but not for everybody else.
It doesn't exist in real life.
It doesn't. Hello, if you think that life is all about happy ever after, that will never exist. Even if you get married, you'll end up fighting with your husband. There's no happily ever after. Well, there is, but it's very rare.
Yeah.
It's very rare. It doesn't work that way.
Okay. So once again, thank you for watching.
Hang on. I just want to say, once again, thank you to everybody, whether you are a fan or a hater. Thank you very much to everybody that was even joined any of the Facebook groups. I'm in, I don't know, about 6 or 7. And in YouTube, those of you guys that interacted with me in YouTube, my chatting YouTube is Kitty Cat. So everyone that knows Kitty Cat, hi. And wherever in social media that you guys came up to me or my friend Thomas, thank you so much for this experience. We will not continue. We got nothing more. I mean, we don't really have to fight anymore. We're not fighting, actually. We're just having fun.
Waiting for another better
We've
series
finished.
to come.
But
You're not decided which series.
I have not stopped on Kim Jong-ho. I have established a Kim Jong-ho International. Oh, okay. My space is gone dead. International Fan Club. You can come and look for my page in Facebook. And you can contact me. There's a number there. You can contact me in WhatsApp or in Telegram for anything. We will be holding gatherings. Now that COVID, we found a vaccine, right? When the pandemic gets better, we'll be holding gatherings for all over the world, in Philippines, in Malaysia, wherever. We can do gatherings, and we'll also be issuing lots of merchandise on Kim Jong-ho, and we will continue to support him in his following projects. So Kim Jong-ho wise, if you're a fan, come and join us. We are not ending here. But for startup, thank you very much. We have closed the book. Nothing more to say. Well, I'm sure there's still a lot of people want to debate with me, but nothing much more to say. And thank you very much for following our review. Sorry we started late because me and Thomas didn't actually hook up until the middle of the story because I didn't know he was watching Startup. He didn't know I was watching Startup. It wasn't until we discovered, hey, you're watching Startup, let's make reviews, you know? So we didn't start until late, until episode 13, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So coming up, there are many new K-dramas for this month, and we will be back with a new review for a new Korean drama,
Which we find interesting.
which we will see if it's interesting enough to make a review. So do join us again for our next Korean drama review. Thank you so much, everybody. We enjoyed our time here. Yeah, we had a great time, and we will see you guys again ASAP.
So thank you very much. Don't forget to support Gempakoku. Watch
Yes.
the other videos.
Yes.
And we hope to see you
Do
again.
like and subscribe Gempakoku and my own personal channel, Ice Isaac. And we will see you guys again soon, really soon, for our next review for the next Korean drama. So to everybody there,
Bye.
saranghae.
See you.
Meow. Assalamualaikum, guys.
To stop.
Oh, it's cool. That was an hour. Love it. Are you sure you want to? Yeah. Okay.
Yep.